Hello everybody, what is up? Today I'm bringing you some Gears of War 3 gameplay commentary, and today I'll be talking or giving you guys some information or a update of my YouTube channel being more professional, and I'll be talking about the three main starting weapons or assault rifles in the Gears of War 3 beta game. So I'll discuss pros and cons of each, and maybe the shotgun if we get to it, but we probably won't. So, starters, the update. Now, what is the update, you might be asking? Well, if you were on the YouTube today on exactly April 23rd, 2011, then you might have seen, or would have seen if you were a subscriber, that I posted a bulletin saying I would have a Gears of War 3 commentary coming out later this afternoon with an intro, and that is something I did not do, which I'm sorry about not doing. But actually, I probably should have said the intro first. Well, starters, I'm trying to make my channel more professional, and by that I am doing all this stuff and downloading some hacks or YouTube backgrounds and using the paint to make it so I have a YouTube background and the theme is yellow and black. And what I did there was, if you go on there, you'll see on the left it says 738, and on the right it says subscribe, and that is just something I'm trying to do. Well, one of the things that I'm working on to making my YouTube channel a lot more professional, and it looks nice. It's much more better than the 4 Commandos, but please tell me what you think. You haven't checked my channel yet. It looks a lot nicer, but tell me your thoughts about it, whether you hate it, you love it, you think there should be a different color, because I can put different colors on it. I have about like 6 different colors, so just let me know. All different colors: teal, purple, red, green. But yeah, another thing too that I'm doing is I'm adding a outro to the end of my video. Sorry about that. Yeah. So it basically says subscribe, and instead of me actually telling you guys just to subscribe, because I think that's kind of rude, or I think that's kind of rude or a little mean. Not mean, but just doesn't feel right for me to say that. So instead of me saying it, I'm going to just say it in the outro. So just to kind of remind you guys, or any of the viewers who are not subscribers, if you enjoyed this, to subscribe. So it's something that catches the attention of the viewer more, and just makes it look more nicer with a little red swirly line going across the screen telling you to subscribe. And on top of all this, I am in the process of making a couple of intros, because I bought Cinema 4D, or have Cinema 4D. And if you don't know, that software is an intro making amazing piece of software that basically makes HD intros very nice quality, makes everything look beautiful. So I'm in the process of making a couple of intros, but I ran into a problem with one of them, so that's why I wasn't able to render out the intro that I wanted to put on this video in the beginning. If you did read my intro or my bullet that I was talking about earlier. So yeah, that is basically what my plans are to make this better, or to make me more professional, as like other people, not as opposed to in the beginning, which was what I was talking about earlier in the video, or the first thing I was talking about in the video. Now moving on to the 3 main assault rifles in the game that are very important, and I think it really decides on your play style, but let's talk about them first and discuss the pros and cons of each. Now, there are 3. The Lancer, the Retro Lancer, and the Hammerburst. Now, the Retro Lancer is a new gun. It's very different as opposed to the other weapons. And so is the Hammerburst. I mean, it's completely different from Gears 2 as opposed to Gears of War 3. And the Lancer, I mean, they're all pretty much very different relating to damage and just active reload area. So, okay, so let's talk about the Lancer. Now, it is probably one of the weakest weapons in the... Well, we have the weakest weapon out of the 3, but to compensate for that, it has more ammo, and it has no recoil at all. Or, if it does, very low though. But it's a really more of a support, stay back kind of weapon. It has 60 bullets as opposed to 50, and then on top of that, it has a chainsaw, but the negative thing about the chainsaw is that it actually takes more time to rev up your chainsaw, so you can actually chainsaw a person, so that's kind of a negative. Now, the Hammerburst, or no, let's talk about the Retro Lancer. Retro Lancer is, well, it came before the Lancer, and it has, I believe, I don't want to say 50, but I'm not 100% sure on the exact clip size, but it basically has more power and it's very inaccurate, or you could say it has a lot of recoil, and that's why it's one of those really tricky weapons, I guess you could say, to use from a distance. So it's not a support type of weapon, it's more of an in-your-face kind of weapon, or close quarters. But, you know, to compensate for that high power, and to make everything balanced, they decide to, or Epic decide to make the gun have a lot of recoil. On top of it, you have a bayonet charge, which is, I guess you could say, a plus, because it's another way to kind of run really fast, and that's how I look at it. I mean, the bayonet charge is also a really cool animation if you're able to get a person from a distance, and even if you don't, if you get that close, all you need to do is stab them once, where it doesn't even have to do the animation, and you just shoot them like 5 bullets. Literally, 5 bullets go into them from that retro, and they're down. I mean, the bayonet is actually very useful as opposed to the Lancer. And then you have the Hammerburst, which is quite fascinating, or quite interesting, because of the fact that it's active success, and active, like, amazing spot, you could say, or the white spot that's really shiny and the white and dull. It's actually quite interesting, because not only is that different, but it's very different from Gears of War 2, being the fact that in Gears of War 2, it has a lot of recoil and more ammo, but it has, the Gears of War, as opposed to Gears of War 3, it has no recoil, iron sights, less ammo, but it takes forever to down a guy. I mean, it's more of a support, stay back kind of weapon, I guess you could say, because you can shoot from long range, and by that, I mean that if you have a fast trigger finger, you're going to shoot really fast, and you might miss a few bullets, but by the time you do that, you have to shoot the guy, you have to shoot them, then by the time they get down, you have to reload again. But the cool thing about that is that when you reload, you can reload so fast that's not even a problem, and you can choose between reloading fast or getting that active reload. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is coming to an end, and I'll see you later. Bye.